Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Katherine MacGregor, born Dorlee Deane McGregor, January 12, 1925 to November 13, 2018, was an American actress best remembered for her unforgettable portrayal of the sharp-tongued, snobbish, and comic antagonist Harriet Oleson on the classic television series Little House on the Prairie, 1974 to 1983. Her performance as the mercantile owner's wife made her one of the most iconic and beloved villains in American television history, admired for her wit, theatrical flair, and humanity beneath the humor. Early life and education. Katherine MacGregor was born in Glendale, California, but grew up in Colorado. She showed an early interest in the arts and pursued acting at the University of Denver, where she graduated with a degree in drama. In the late 1940s, she moved to New York City, the epicenter of American theater, to refine her craft and train with some of the most respected acting coaches of her era, including Sanford, Meisner and Stella Adler. Stage career. Before her fame on television, MacGregor built a strong reputation on the New York stage, appearing in numerous Broadway and off-Broadway productions. She performed in plays such as The 7-Year Itch and Handful of Fire, and became a respected figure in the theater community for her commanding presence and sharp comedic timing. Acting in the New York theater scene gave her the foundation for her later ability to bring depth and nuance to her television roles. Television and film career. In the 1950s and 1960s, Katherine MacGregor began working steadily in television and film. She made guest appearances on popular series such as East Side, West Side, Mannix, Emergency, and Ironside. Although she was often cast in small parts, her performances stood out for their precision and humor. Her big break came in 1974, when she was cast as Harriet Oleson on NBC's Little House on the Prairie. The role, originally conceived as a one-dimensional town gossip, became one of the show's most memorable and enduring characters thanks to MacGregor's inventive interpretation. She turned Harriet into a figure who was as comically self-absorbed as she was oddly sympathetic, blending arrogance with insecurity and social ambition. Harriet's interactions with the Ingalls family, especially her rivalry with Caroline Ingalls, played by Karen Grassel, provided much of the show's humor and tension. Despite playing the antagonist, MacGregor's portrayal was always layered with warmth and theatrical brilliance. She made viewers love to hate her. Later life and legacy. After Little House on the Prairie ended in 1983, MacGregor chose to step away from mainstream television. A devoutly spiritual woman, she turned her focus toward Hinduism and spiritual teaching, spending her later years involved in charitable and religious activities. She lived quietly in Los Angeles, occasionally participating in Little House reunions and interviews, where she reflected warmly on her co-stars and her years on the Prairie. Katherine MacGregor passed away on November 13, 2018, at the age of 93. At the Motion Picture and Television Fund retirement home in Woodland Hills, California. Her death was widely mourned by fans and former castmates, who remembered her as a gifted performer and a true original personality and craft. MacGregor was known among her peers as witty, intelligent, and disciplined. Though her on-screen character was flamboyant and loud, she was said to be deeply private and spiritual in real life. She treated acting as an art form rather than a vehicle for fame, which helped her bring rare authenticity even to comedic or villainous parts. Cultural impact. Harriet Oleson remains one of the most memorable characters in American television history. Through her portrayal, Katherine MacGregor created a timeless archetype, the small-town gossip whose vanity and snobbery mask an underlying vulnerability. Her performance added humor, balance, and humanity to Little House on the Prairie, elevating what could have been a simple family drama into a richer tapestry of human personalities. Even decades after the series ended, MacGregor's work continues to be celebrated by fans who grew up watching her spar with Michael Landon's Charles Ingalls or berate her husband Nels at the Mercantile. In the pantheon of classic TV characters, Harriet Oleson endures, a testament to Katherine MacGregor's artistry, intelligence, and wit. Spiritual awakening and life beyond Hollywood. After the end of Little House on the Prairie in 1983, Katherine MacGregor's life took a profound turn. She gradually withdrew from the entertainment industry and began devoting herself to spiritual pursuits. Long before it was common in Hollywood circles, MacGregor had discovered Hindu philosophy and the practice of meditation, which deeply influenced her worldview. She became a student of the Vedanta Society of Southern California, an organization dedicated to the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. The Vedanta philosophy's emphasis on compassion, detachment, and the inner search for truth resonated with her. Those who knew her during this period described her as serene, contemplative, and dedicated to spiritual growth. While many actors chase fame and visibility, MacGregor consciously chose a path of quiet reflection and service. She worked with children, volunteered at community centers, and gave talks about the importance of humility, kindness, and mindfulness, principles that stood in stark contrast to the vain, materialistic Harriet Oleson she had portrayed for nearly a decade. Her view of fame and acting in interviews later in life, Katherine MacGregor often spoke about the dual nature of success. She viewed fame as both a gift and a distraction. "The world loves Harriet," she once said. "But I had to find out who Katherine was." MacGregor saw acting as a spiritual discipline, a way to study human behavior, ego, and illusion. She compared playing Harriet Oleson to holding a mirror up to the follies of human nature, using humor and exaggeration to expose vanity and pride. This layered understanding of performance was part of what made her character so vivid and relatable. Colleagues remembered her as highly professional on set, though she had little tolerance for superficiality. Michael Landon, the show's star and executive producer, respected her skill but occasionally clashed with her intensity and strong opinions. Despite this, both shared mutual admiration. Landon once called her a rare actress who could make mean funny. Relationships with the Little House cast. Katherine MacGregor was deeply loved by her co-stars, particularly Karen Grassel, Caroline Ingalls, and Alison Arngrim, who played her daughter, Nellie Oleson. Arngrim often referred to her as a mentor and maternal figure, saying that MacGregor helped her navigate fame and stay grounded as a child actor. Off-screen, MacGregor's relationship with Richard Bull, who played her long-suffering husband, Nels Oleson, was especially warm. The two were close friends for decades and shared a mutual sense of humor about their on-screen marriage. "We were like an old vaudeville team," she once said. "We could fight, flirt, and fuss, but it was all love underneath." Despite her strong personality, cast members described her as generous and fiercely loyal. When not filming, she often invited colleagues to her home for vegetarian meals and spiritual discussions. She believed laughter was sacred and that humor was a bridge between souls, an idea she embodied perfectly through Harriet's mix of arrogance and absurdity. Personal life and privacy. Katherine MacGregor never had children and lived most of her later years alone, though surrounded by friends and fellow devotees. She was briefly married to actor Burt Remsen in the 1940s, but the marriage was short-lived. Afterward, she remained single, preferring solitude and independence over the constraints of Hollywood romance. She lived modestly in Los Angeles, refusing to chase publicity or revive her acting career even as Little House reruns brought her renewed attention. Her home reflected her spirit, simple, filled with books on philosophy, poetry, and Eastern spirituality. Final years and legacy. In her final years, MacGregor resided at the Motion Picture and Television Fund retirement community in Woodland Hills, California, a place where many veteran actors and industry professionals live out their later days. She participated in communal activities, enjoyed gardening, and remained deeply interested in spiritual matters. Even into her 90s, she retained her sharp humor and love of storytelling. When she passed away on November 13, 2018, tributes poured in from fans and former castmates around the world. Alison Arngrim wrote, "Rest in peace, Katherine MacGregor, a truly talented and complex woman. The world loved to hate Mrs. Oleson, and we adored you for it." Today, MacGregor is remembered not only as a gifted actress but also as a woman of rare depth, intellect, and conviction, one who transformed what could have been a caricature into a timeless symbol of human folly and charm. The legacy of Harriet Oleson. Few television characters have endured like Harriet Oleson. Through MacGregor's sharp comedic instincts and theater-honed skill, Harriet became a character audiences loved to watch, a symbol of self-importance, yet also a mirror to our own vanities. Her exaggerated airs, biting wit, and vulnerable moments made her one of the most fascinating figures in the Little House universe. She remains a reminder of MacGregor's artistry, that humor can reveal truth, that even the villains among us deserve compassion, and that great acting is not about imitation, it's about illumination. Acting philosophy and artistic approach. Katherine MacGregor's approach to acting was rooted in discipline, observation, and self-awareness. Having trained in New York during the golden age of American theater, she absorbed the teachings of method acting, but she did not subscribe to it blindly. She believed in deep emotional.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.